Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel ESL Drill. The purpose of this video is to teach you a few one-word substitutes. If you know them, that's okay. If you don't know them, don't worry. We'll learn them in this video today. And one-word substitutes help us a lot. Learning one-word substitutes is one of the many ways of increasing stock vocabulary. And if you don't know what they are, let me give you an example. Look at this here. John is a person who studies birds scientifically. Now in this sentence, a person who studies birds scientifically can be replaced with one word, and the word is ornithologist. We can say John is an ornithologist. So this word ornithologist replaces the phrase a person who studies birds scientifically. Okay, we are going to learn a few of them. Are you ready? Okay, let me tell you. In this video, wherever possible, I try to include the origin of the words and a few example sentences. And watch this video till the end, and if you like the video, at the end of it, like it, share it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you. Okay, let's begin. I have divided all these one-word substitutes into four parts, four sets actually. Each set has 7 words. Let's discuss the first set. The first word is fatalist. Fatalist. It's not fatalist, it's not fatalist. Fatalist. A fatalist is a person who believes in fate. What is fate? Fate is the power that is believed to control everything that happens and that cannot be stopped or changed. And we think that it is God. God has the power to control everything and we are unable to change it. We are unable to stop it. So most of the people believe that things are not under their control and then everything happens for a reason and then they are under control of God or nature. Such people are called fatalists. Number 2 is centenarian. Centenarian. Centenarian is a person who is 100 years old or more. This is actually from Latin language. Centum. The word centum means a period of 100 years. You know very well that in cricket, a batsman who has scored 100 runs is called a centurion. It means he has made a century, 100 runs. Centenarian, easy to remember, right? Number 3, omnipresent. Omnipresent. This means one who is present everywhere. Who is that? Who is that someone who is present everywhere? It is supposedly the God. Latin, it's actually from Latin. The word omni means all. There are several other words that come from this word, from this Latin one, omni. First thing, omnipresent. Omnipresent is someone who is present in all places, everywhere. So we have those 3 words here: omnipotent, omnidirectional, omniscient. Omnipotent. So omnipotent is someone who is all powerful. Omnidirectional. Omni means here all, directional, self-explanatory. You can understand it from the word itself. Omnidirectional. For example, I am recording this video using a mic, and this mic is omnidirectional. It means it can receive signals or receive sound from all directions. So I have an omnidirectional mic. And the next one is omniscient. This is actually omni, all, and this one science or scient. It means to know, but the pronunciation is omniscient. Omniscient is a person who knows everything. Number 4, mercenary. Mercenary is a person who can do anything for money. Pretty straightforward meaning, but it has another meaning as well. There's slight difference. A soldier who fights for any country that will pay him. This is not good. Are there soldiers like that? Maybe. Let's move on. Number 5. Misogynist. Misogynist is a person who hates women. A man or a woman who hates all women is called misogynist. We can understand this better with the help of the root words. Greek gyne means woman. Here the prefix mis means hatred. Gyne, woman, mis, hatred. A person who has hatred or who shows hatred towards women is called misogynist. Number 6. Monogamy. Monogamy is the practice of having one spouse. A spouse is either a husband or a wife. If a man has a spouse, it is his wife, and a woman's spouse is her husband. Monogamy is the practice. And a person who practices this or who has only one wife or husband is monogamist. And what about someone who has more than one wife or more than one husband? What do you call them? We call them polygamists. So anyway, this is from gamos, Greek language, gamos, which means marriage. Poly means many. Gamos, marriage. So the practice of having more than one wife or husband is called polygamy, and the person is called polygamist. And in mathematics you come across this one, polygon. Simple. Let's move on to the 7th one. Autobiography. It's a life history written by oneself. Self. The word auto in Greek means self. Bio is life. In Greek language, graphos means, a graph or graphos means writing. So if you write your own life history or life story, that is called an autobiography. Auto, self, written by yourself. Okay, that is the end of the first set. Let's move on to the second set of words. Number 8. Biography. Biography is the story of a person's life written by somebody else. You can compare the earlier one with this one. Autobiography is a self-written life history, but biography is written by somebody else. If somebody else writes your life story or life history, that's called biography. Next one, bio life we have already discussed. Next one, honorary. Here H is silent. Honorary. An honorary position in an organization is one for which no payment is made. The simple meaning is this: honorary, not paid, unpaid. It's not a noun, so we cannot begin the definition saying like this. A person, honorary is not a person. Honorary is an adjective. So an honorary position, so I have used a noun phrase here. An honorary position in an organization is a position for which no payment is made. So people who are involved in honorary positions in a company or in an institution do not get any payment for the work they do. That's honorary position. Number 10. Ambiguous. Ambiguous. Having or expressing more than one possible meaning. Sometimes people make remarks and their remarks have different meanings. The remarks can be interpreted, can be understood in different ways. Such remarks are called ambiguous remarks, ambiguous dialogues, ambiguous statements, ambiguous remarks. So this comes from Latin ambiguous, which means doubtful. Ambi, both. So ambiguous adjective. So it involves the word both. There is another word like ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. Dexterity is nothing but skill. Dexterous adjective. Ambidextrous. A person who is able to use both hands equally well is called an ambidextrous person. Let's move on to the 11th one. Inimitable. Inimitable means too good or skillful for anyone else to copy with the same high standard. The simple meaning is this, but if you want, you can try other meaning as well. Something, you cannot say something which cannot be, or that which cannot be imitated. That is the meaning given in the textbook. I used the meaning of an adjective here. Too good or skillful for anyone else to copy with the same high standard. Let me give an example here so that you can understand it better. For example, one of your friends who is exceptionally skillful, is very good at dancing, and you try to compete with him, or you try to do just like he does, but you fail. And then you say his performance or his skill is inimitable, highly inimitable. I mean, you cannot imitate it, you cannot copy it, because it is of such high standard. Number 12, theist. Theist is someone who believes in the existence of God. If you believe in God, you are a theist. And what if you don't believe in God? You are atheist. Atheist is a person who does not believe in the existence of God. By the way, this one is from Greek, theos. Theos means God. So theist, look at the spelling here, E-I, it's not I-E, don't get confused. Theist and atheist, atheist. 13th one, spendthrift. Someone who spends a lot of money in a way that wastes it. Spendthrift. Are you a spendthrift? I don't think so. Especially during this lockdown, you must not be so. Okay. There is something that we need to look at. Thrift means the careful use of money, especially by avoiding waste. Look here, if you add spend before this, it has a different meaning. Thrift is the careful use of money. But if you say spendthrift, someone who spends a lot of money, who wastes a lot of money. The 14th one is teetotaler. Teetotaler is someone who never drinks alcohol, or someone who abstains from taking alcohol. So abstains mean keeps away, keeps away. A person who keeps himself or herself away from taking alcohol is called a teetotaler. Are you a teetotaler? I suppose so. Teetotal is actually the emphatic extension of total. It's another way of saying total, but with some emphasis, with some force to it. Teetotal, teetotaler. So that's the end of the set 2, and now let's move on to set 3. We have 7 more words here. The first one, that is number 15, is indelible. Indelible means impossible to forget or remove. If something is indelible, it is impossible to forget. It is impossible to remove. Let's take a look at the example that we have in the textbook. Savitri left an indelible imprint in the minds of cine lovers. It means here the impression that she made on the minds of cine lovers, or in the minds of cine lovers, is impossible to forget. That's indelible. That's adjective. Let's have one more example here. Her unhappy childhood left an indelible mark. The next one is illegible. Difficult or impossible to read. This is an adjective. Look at this picture. This is someone's handwriting. Is it easy to understand? No, I don't think so. It's difficult for me. It's almost impossible for me to read. I cannot make out anything from this. The only thing that I can understand is this ampersand symbol. Difficult or impossible to read. I think your handwriting is legible, not illegible. Next, number 17, incorrigible. Incorrigible. Having bad habits that cannot be changed or improved. Sometimes we hear of some people who always tell lies. Now they have gone to an extent of telling lies that they cannot stop telling lies. Now we call them incorrigible liars. It means here their bad habits cannot be changed, they cannot be stopped at all. Incorrigible liar. Next, number 18, intellectual. A person who is well educated and enjoys activities in which they have to think seriously about things. Now intellectual can also be used as an adjective apart from being a noun. So intellectual, noun, intellectual can also be an adjective. Now a person who is very well educated, and such people enjoy activities like which involves serious thinking. Number 19, snob. Snob is a person who thinks they are much better than other people because they are intelligent. So this is not a good trait, not a positive trait. A person who thinks they are much better than other people. Do you like such people? Do you like snobs? We don't like them. Snob is a noun. And linguist, number 20. Linguist is a person who has studied or is interested in the science of language. It can be any language. A linguist is a person who has studied or is interested in the science of language. Okay, don't worry, we'll get back to that after discussing polyglot. Linguist is a noun. So the important point here is he is interested in the science of language. Let's go to polyglot and come back. Polyglot is a person who can speak, read or write in several languages. Try to understand the difference. So to get a better understanding, let's move on and see a new slide. A linguist is able to explain the rules, syntax, the structure and origin of certain terms, certain words from a language. It can be any language. A linguist scientifically studies language. Here she can explain the structure, the rules, everything. Whereas a polyglot may not necessarily be able to analyze the language or know the rules of its syntax, but he or she can speak, can write and can use that language. That's it. So linguist scientifically studies a language, polyglot just uses it. But there may be polyglots who can know the rules or syntax of some languages. Okay, now let's move on. I hope the explanation is clear. Now you are able to, I think you are able to distinguish between linguist and polyglot. Now the next set, the third set, 22 to 28. Bilingual. A person who can speak two languages equally well. Simple, no need to explain further. But this bilingual is here used as a noun, but bilingual can also be used as an adjective. We have that in our textbook. Maya Bazaar was made in two languages. It's a bilingual movie. It was made in Tamil and Telugu. So using two languages, are written, are produced, or made in two languages. Let's move on. Versatile. Versatile, able to do many different things. If a person is able to do many different things, we say that person is very versatile. Savitri, for example, was a versatile woman. She was an actress, she was a director, she was a producer. So, she was a versatile woman. That's an adjective. Let's move on to the next one, prodigy. Prodigy is a young person whose intelligence or skill is unusually good for their age. We often hear of children, young people who do exceptionally great things for their age. Considering their age, what they have achieved is beyond others' capabilities. For example, a 10-year-old kid passing an MBA, that's wonderful. That's showing unusual skill for their age, unusual intelligence for their age. We call those people prodigies. If that is a child, we say he is a child prodigy. She is a child prodigy. Prodigy is a noun. Next, number 25, epitaph. Epitaph. Words which are written or said about a dead person, especially words inscribed on a tombstone or gravestone. This is a noun. Look at this picture here. This is gravestone or tombstone. Some words are written about the dead person. Those words are called epitaph. The next one is epitome. Epitome. It's not epitome. Epitome. This is a perfect example of something. A perfect example of something. Epitome. He is the epitome of a modern young man. A perfect example of a modern young man. Mind this pronunciation, please. Epitome. Next, number 27, epistle. Epistle is a long, serious letter on an important subject. This is a noun. Next one is epilogue. Epilogue is a speech at the end of a play, book, or film that comments on or acts as a conclusion to what has happened. Some books write epilogue at the end of the book to sum up what the reader has learned or has read in the entire book. So sometimes at the end of a movie we see maybe we hear a message by the director or the producer or the hero saying something about the movie's experience. So that is called epilogue. Epilogue is a noun. That's all about one word substitutes. Would you like to try a quiz to check your understanding? Let's proceed. The first question. Try to write down the answers and then identify how much you have understood. At the end, write down your score. We have 5 questions. The first question is here. A person who thinks he or she is better than other people is called a or an. What do you think? Pause the video and then try to think of it. The answer is B, snob. If you have got the answer correct, you have got a point. 1 point. That is your score. Let's move on to the second one. Someone who believes that people cannot change the way events will happen is a monogamist, B, polyglot, C, fatalist. Pause the video, think of the answer. If you chose C, fatalist, you are absolutely right. C, fatalist. Because fatalist believes that things cannot be changed, the events cannot be controlled. Because they believe in fate. Move on. Number 3. My brother is a teacher. He can repair bikes. He can work with computers as well. He is A, ambiguous, B, inimitable, C, versatile. Pause the video for a moment, think of the answer. The answer is C, versatile. Because versatile people are able to do many different things. Let's move on to the fourth one. Maya Bazaar had an dash effect on the people who watched it. Illegible effect, inimitable effect, indelible effect. Think of the answer. Pause the video. Welcome back. The answer is C, indelible. Impossible to forget or impossible to remove the effect. So, indelible effect. Let's try the fifth one. This is the last one. A person who knows, uses or writes in more than one language is called A, linguist, B. polyglot, C. theist. Pause the video, think of the answer again. The answer is B. polyglot. Okay, I hope you have done very well. If you have scored 5, maybe 4, please write down your score in comment section so that I'll understand that you have watched the entire video. I hope this video is very helpful. If you like this video, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.